Chicago stands ready to accept refugees from Afghanistan. That's what a group of Chicago City Council members wrote in a letter they sent to the president.
And it comes as refugee groups and federal leaders are planning for hundreds of refugees to arrive in Illinois soon. WGN's Mike Lowe is joining us from the newsroom with more on that. Mike.
Ray and Micah, good evening. Hundreds of Afghan refugees are expected to resettle in Illinois in the coming weeks. Now, lawmakers and advocacy groups are working on plans to get them housing and other resources once they land in Chicago.
We know that Chicago is a welcoming city and wanted to make sure that we broadcast those values.
40th Ward Alderman Andre Vasquez is one of about 20 Chicago City Council members who sent a letter to President Joe Biden saying Chicago is ready and willing to help resettle Afghan refugees.
And those who have helped us, we should have their back. And so that is what we're going to do as a city.
About 500 refugees are expected to resettle in Illinois. Refugee advocacy group Refugee One spokesman James Porter told WGN News in a written statement, quote, "They've already begun arriving and will continue to arrive in greater numbers in the weeks and months ahead." U.S. Senator Dick Durbin held an online news conference today to address the refugee situation.
I will do everything I can in Illinois to make sure that we are a welcoming state to those qualified to be treated with that status.
Durbin says special immigrant visas will likely be granted to those who worked with American forces or aided the mission in Afghanistan. Durbin says it's likely that dozens of refugees will enter through O'Hare Airport after a thorough vetting process. Refugee advocates say the likeliest relocations in Chicago will be on the north side in the neighborhoods of Rogers Park and West Ridge, close to the Refugee One organization offices. Officials then say the challenge has become feeding and housing a population with no roots in the community. Quote, "We usually partner with local landlords who are willing to rent to refugees, which can be hard to find because most refugees don't have a rental, credit, or employment history and don't have jobs upon arrival." Durbin says providing initial assistance, especially to those who worked with Americans during the 20-year war, should be a congressional priority.
We will have to provide new resources for these refugees to get on the ground and settle down and move forward.
For Vasquez and the other members of Chicago City Council who signed the letter, accepting refugees is central to the American idea and to the city's values.
It's what we've been founded on. It's why we have a Statue of Liberty, right, to accept those who need help. And we need to make sure that we live the values that we claim to be about.
And Vasquez has drafted a resolution that would formalize the city's position. He says that will go before the entire city council at this month's meeting. Meantime, federal officials are also sorting out how thousands of evacuees will be classified. Some, of course, will be refugees, but others will be classified as humanitarian parolees and won't have a path to citizenship or resources from the federal government after 90 days. Back to you.
Thank you, Mike.